There is a type of person who learns things particularly slowly, but this does not mean they are stupid or dull. They belong to visual spatial learners, whose greatest characteristic is that they must understand the underlying logic before they can truly learn. Asking them to memorize things by rote will instead lead to low efficiency, but once they understand the principles thoroughly, they can integrate knowledge seamlessly and even fundamentally build their own knowledge system. Many people are accustomed to using linear logic to understand and absorb knowledge during the learning process. For example, when learning mathematics, they can quickly master formulas and theorems and solve problems rapidly through logical reasoning. However, visual spatial learners are different. Their brains are better at capturing and processing visual information, such as images, shapes, and spaces. When processing information, they need to understand knowledge from all angles and dimensions. They do not simply pile knowledge in their minds, but strive to construct a vivid mental map of knowledge. Take learning geography as an example. They may not immediately memorize numerous place names and coordinates, but first imagine the shapes on a globe, the geographical positions of countries, and the directions of mountains and rivers. This visualized, multidimensional learning method requires more time to organize and digest information. Moreover, visual spatial learners often need to transform abstract concepts into specific images when internalizing knowledge. For instance, when learning historical events, they may first construct a grand scene of that era in their minds, visualizing people, locations, and the development process of events before understanding and memorizing the relevant written descriptions. This process is like building a complex architectural model requiring patience and meticulousness, and thus naturally appearing slower. For visual spatial learners, first learn to make full use of visual learning tools. For example, when studying scientific knowledge, they can watch relevant animations, diagrams, and schematics to help understand abstract concepts. Second, try drawing mind maps by hand, with a central theme extending to various related knowledge points, marked with images and colors to clarify the knowledge structure more clearly. On the path of learning and growth, everyone has their own rhythm and methods. What we need to do is not measure everyone by uniform standards, but respect and understand each person's uniqueness. Learning slowly does not mean being unintelligent. On the contrary, it may mean the brain is exploring the ocean of knowledge in a more in-depth and meticulous way.